Hey, what's up, everybody? Today on the show, we have Anna Morgan. Anna is the creator of Evolve TA and HR Experience. It is a wonderful conference that takes place in Atlanta, Georgia.
It also aligns just with my North Star and passion for elevating the world of work and really can make impact.
I'm so excited by what you just shared because there is an inherent goodness in the recruiter community. Like, I love talking to folks
100%.
that are so motivated by the connection and that sharing of knowledge.
As we tell our community, our careers are not linear and we can pivot and be squiggly and adjust.
Recruiters, do you know those moments where you're juggling 15 roles, 10 hiring managers, and 3 different outreach tools, and you just think, there's gotta be a better way to do this? That's where Grayscale comes in. It's an AI assistant built for recruiters, not just another generic chatbot. Grayscale lives inside your ATS, whether it's Greenhouse, Workday, or SAP, and it automates candidate updates, reminders, and outreach across text, WhatsApp, and chat. I've seen teams use it, cut time to fill by 30%, and cut ghosting in half without losing the human touch. Because this isn't about replacing recruiters, it's about freeing them up to do the stuff that actually matters, closing great candidates. So if you're building a real talent machine, check out grayscaleapp.com and tell them Building the Talent Machine sent you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today on the show, we have Anna Morgan. Anna is the creator of Evolve TA and HR Experience. It is a wonderful conference that takes place in Atlanta, Georgia. She is formerly your career BFF, somebody who is a regular on the conference circuit. Anna, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to start off 2026 evolving with our talent and HR community, and just glad to have a chat today and celebrate the talent machine and what you're building as well. So thank you.
Thanks. I always look forward to seeing you in my algorithm as well, but in real
you.
life, I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen quite a bit of you. Where are you based? What are you working on? What is Evolve and all of that?
Yeah, so I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, put on the very first Evolve conference last year. It happened to be on my 50th birthday, and I planned it in 69 days with 75 attendees, 10 partners, sponsors, and 16 speakers. Once I did that, it brought so much joy and didn't feel like work. And that was the signal that I need to do more of this. It also aligns just with my North Star and passion for elevating the world of work and creating safe and unique experiences that we can collectively learn together, and also go back to the organizations that we represent and have actionable roadmaps or tools or insights that we really can make impact with regards to all aspects of the recruiting and people leadership space. Yeah, have hosted some other fun events, from shared housing with a bunch of women at different conferences to a fringe event at RecFest this past fall with several partners. Now, Evolve 26 is back, bigger and better, on January 29th. So we are in full Evolve mode. We have some amazing speakers and amazing attendees and also partners. So I'm excited to bring this back to life and continue to reiterate and adjust as I learn making this career pivot from a boutique agency owner and job search coach for many years to really just focusing on building experiences for our community. So that's it.
I love it. Why now? Why put recruiting, career coaching on pause to do this?
Personally, I'm in the 4th quarter of my career, and I wanted to build something that was sustainable and meaningful, and based on the feedback and the momentum and the partnerships, that was just reflected back to me that this is the time and the right direction. And as we tell our community, our careers are not linear and we can pivot and be squiggly and adjust. And it would be a disservice, I feel, to my community if I didn't pay attention to that intuitive nudge that I'm being called to really pursue stepping into this new season. And it allows me in a bigger capacity to be of service to serve even job seekers, people leaders, as well as more shared learning opportunities. Because I love all the conferences that we go to, but there's enough to go around. And the biggest thing is we need to shout louder to the internal teams that prioritize professional development. And here's why. And the ripple effect and impact by investing in your employees to attend events like this, what is possible from making that investment? They're going to be cutting edge. They're going to get access to innovation. They will be professionally relevant, which in turn helps their career and builds career insurance. That's really how I see being able to serve in a bigger capacity.
It's awesome. I'm so excited by what you just shared because there is an inherent goodness in the recruiter community. Like I love talking to folks that are so
100%.
motivated by the connection and that sharing of knowledge. And the reality is in the recruiting world, it's almost like a reward to go to the conference or to go to an industry event to get $2,000 in budget for the trip, the admission, etc. What's crazy is how that operates in a business when you have peers in other departments whose job it is to go to a conference and be customer facing, and they're developing the soft skills, what it takes to be a professional in an evolving workforce. And I think we're doing our recruiters a disservice by limiting that budget, and people like you are doing a great job by having an affordable option. So yeah,
Right.
there's not an extra zero on the admission fee.
Yeah.
What does it cost to get to Evolve and to learn from perhaps some of the same speakers and interact in those hallway conversations with the same folks that are out in Vegas?
Yeah, absolutely. And I put a lot of thought behind the ticket price and did a lot of research on the prices in our industry and also the timing. There's a reason that this conference this year is one day because I love going to 2-day conferences, but especially if you're going east to west coast, your week is tapped, whether you're an internal TA recruiter or HR partner or an entrepreneur. And the price is $249. It is extraordinarily affordable. Flying into Atlanta is very easy, big international airport, so a lot of access to get a reasonable flight if you're coming from out of town, as well as the facility that I picked this year, which is the Marriott in Marietta, Georgia, further outside of the city, more affordable prices. It's $169 a night, which is very affordable if you look at your receipts from what we paid at Vegas hotels and the like. So I really do try to be conscientious of that and also reserve seats for attendees from ICs to middle managers, as well as the executive CPO, CHRO profile, because we know that they ultimately will make a decision when it comes to evaluating tech. However, your future buyers are those people that need to come and learn to stay relevant, get those tools, and that gives these partners an opportunity to start now nourishing those relationships as those older decision makers retire and move on out of the workforce.
You've built great companies. You've worked in a variety of settings, in-house, going out, hanging your shingle as a consultant and boutique recruiter. What do you think it takes for a recruiter of the future to have longevity in their career?
I think it's a combination of things. I don't see the future of recruiting or recruiters having one singular focus. I believe the gig economy is going to continue rising and that we are all figuring things out as we move along. Recruiters to stay relevant and top of mind and well-skilled are those that are prioritizing professional development, community building, tool learning, not afraid to go to their teams and say, this is the business case of why we should attend something like Evolve. These are the speakers. We have Lori Rudiman, Jennifer McClure, Rocky Howard, Preston Sharpson from Whataburger is going to be talking about recruiting ops, which I know you have a hot spot for. And the way I'm building the programming is again, focused on workshop like versus not us just talking at people. So, recruiters that prioritize those types of events and then really take action after them. One of the things that a lot of people come to me for is how do you network and get influence and access like you do? And while I wish I could just pull it out of me and package it up and give it away or sell it, creating these types of experiences is the fastest way I feel like I can accelerate opening those doors for our industry brothers and sisters, if you will. Staying relevant, prioritizing professional development, really focusing on prioritizing relationship building. And if people don't know how to do it, reach out to people that are ahead of you or that you feel like have some of those strengths that you would like to develop and start having those conversations and then watch the magic happen from there.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's important for us to spend a percentage of our time with folks that are 10, 15, 20 years ahead. We spend a lot of time with our peers, but also spend time passing the ladder down. And I'm
Yeah.
eager for that next generation of recruiters to come along. I've been in this industry for a decade now. I got
Mhm.
into it with just a lot of passion for storytelling. And I think the younger generation, even this week, I saw an article that was posted about sales teams of enterprise software companies hiring storytellers instead of
Yeah, and I've seen
sales
more of that
reps.
too. Like they were saying the typical outreach messaging agency ad, like highly polished creator content is like not converting like at all. And those that prioritize storytelling or learn how to do it. And I don't think it's very difficult. Sometimes we're too close to our own story to be able to really amplify it. But you're 100% on to something there. And how do companies attract talent that can be a part of that storytelling marketing effort? And what does that look like is going to be fascinating to watch.
I'm excited because the role is going to evolve. And I think the recruiting process is going to just inherently change. And this is
Yes.
exciting because it's a great time to be in the field. And it's
Mm.
a lot of us have navigated layoffs. I've navigated layoffs
Same.
working with volatile companies. It's just a reality of this industry. I honestly, I
Mm.
don't think I know a recruiter.
Who
You
hasn't
know,
been lately?
I know a couple, but I would say even those leaders had to make decisions of riffing team members. So I'm going to say it. I think every person I know in recruiting has been affected by a
Mm-hmm.
layoff in the
Yeah.
last 5 years. And when I think about the skills of the future impacting the recruiting process, like I'm here for this disruption. Let's
Mm.
break the process down, rebuild it from the ground up. AI is
Yeah.
moving fast, but right now we're bolting AI onto an existing workflow. And I'm excited for us to potentially hire people in entirely new ways. So we need the younger generation coming in, learning the fundamentals, coming to
Hmm.
conferences, interacting with folks that have been doing this, understanding like just the basic candidate experience
Yeah.
and hiring manager experience fundamentals so that we can build for the future. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
more of a rant than a question.
One thing that, to piggyback on that is like I'm hearing a lot from those of us that have been in the game 15 plus years that there is a collective desire of us more old timers to be able to bring along these younger generations coming into the workforce, and not that our old way is the right way, but in service of helping to accelerate their learning and journey in the world of work. And events like Evolve and TA Week and TalentNet, these are great spaces for both demographics, your seasoned conference expert, and then your up and coming ICs to managers and above, where you have a diverse population and experiences that put the people together in a unique and activated way. Like last year, I assigned seats at my conference the first half, and people were like, "What?" And it was so intentional because I'm also the conference career BFF. If you've ever been with me, I'm an includer. Like I want to know what's going on, etc., and bring people along. And so when I create experiences like that, I'm ensuring someone who maybe is neurodiverse or has difficulty striking up a conversation is sitting at a table with someone like you, Brandon, that's great at listening and saying, "Oh, you all need to know each other," or "Did you know about this particular project X was working on?" So that everyone leaves feeling seen, heard, and understood, as well as leveled up in some capacity.
Seen, heard, and understood. That's going to be my mantra. I love the way you articulate, Anna. You're such a storyteller.
Thank you.
But seen, heard, and understood, isn't that what we all just want in this
It
world?
is. And the other tipping point to being like, F, yes, I'm doing this is that AI is disrupting, right? And we're using it in all kinds of capacities. And where I am finding balance between embracing it, I'm also just going so hard in heart to heart and IRL experiences because there is a global loneliness pandemic and mental health issue. And no one is talking about it. And I've had lonely moments in my entrepreneurial journey. And I know people feel alone in their jobs because they maybe don't feel safe. They're dealing with a toxic boss. And my heart is, again, to build these psychologically safe environments where people can truly drop the armor and trust me as a curator and as someone who has been in the seat recently, who prioritizes the relevancy and education that they know by coming in when they say, you know what, Brandon, I'm struggling with that too. How did you handle that? And then that's where that ripple effect and magic happens.
And that extends to the conference agenda. Like when I think about those hallway conversations, those breakout sessions, when you close the door and you're seated at a table with other folks that are going through the challenging dynamics of managing a team, managing stakeholders, working with challenging hiring managers, dealing with recruiting issues like candidate fraud and data security,
Yeah.
candidate experience, finance putting pressure because operational expense is through the roof now to manage all of the inbound applications that are flooding open requisitions. The cost per hire is increasing, yet headcount plans are down. Like these are real challenges that recruiting leaders are facing, plus all of their personal stress they carry. And I think a lot of us, when we can break down those barriers in environments that provide that psychological safety, that's where those breakthroughs can happen. That's where the innovation can happen. That's where you learn from a peer or provide feedback to a peer that can help them go back to their job on Monday and be more successful.
Absolutely. I think also it comes the desire to do this is one, coming up in recruiting. I had no visibility to these opportunities. I just got excited that I was participating in the role plays at the opening part of the day where we were handling objections. And I just think when leaders are sitting down and doing headcount or budgeting for the new year, that they are not prioritizing that professional development as much as they should. And they're just throwing a LinkedIn learning course at their team and being like, this is our commitment to learning. But we have sessions that are all about gratitude in action, how to build connection and culture. Again, how to go from a recruiter to a strategic talent partner. Christy Honeycutt is doing a session on don't be a dick, shifting from reactive ego to aligned leadership. And I also have fun with my speakers. I have a yogi professional that's coming, Maud Moreno, where she's going to do the power of pause. Simple practices for presence and performance. Last year, Jess Miller Merrill did a session on how to do breath work at work. So these are some things that we're not seeing at everyday bigger conferences. Rocky Howard is going to share about her new humanity practice, really, which is all about humanity is the job and HR leads the practice. So lots of really great peer conversations that will recharge, reconnect, and reignite our passion for the world of work and start the year off with a deep breath and remember our why, and then get to making a difference with the organizations we support.
You are such a good marketer. Can we just stop for a second and tell that story? How did you get so good at marketing? How did you get so good at speaking
I have
phrases?
been a grassroots, scrappy marketer that never has had a budget. I only had a phone call and then a phone, and then I got email and a business card. And that kind of takes me back to why I decided to go in this direction too, is that I realized I loved being able to sell my passion, and that just converted beyond what I could expect. And that also signals that I'm following the right nudge. So thank you very much for that compliment. Like, it means a lot coming from you, because I look to you and I'm like, man, the way you tell stories is just profound and inspiring.
Thank you. I don't take compliments well. So I'm going to sit with that for a second, Anna, and thank you. When I think about the role of recruiting and these stories that we're telling and these connections, like it's making a job decision or taking a new role.
It is a life
Uh,
decision. The
that's
work that we
huge.
get to do, Brandon, and I've never taken this lightly. And a part of me is like a little bit mourning, letting go of my agency recruiter persona. The work that we do is a privilege, and we have an opportunity to guide people on making this life decision that affects where they live, their time with their family. Been blessed to hire many first generation folks into new roles that would be and has been life changing income
Yeah.
that has elevated communities and industries. And that's why I stayed in it for so long, despite the challenges that come with recruiting and what we learn from a deal falling apart or things not working out. But bottom line, I just always was in such awe and gratitude of being able to do this work because of just my fascination of humans in general and my curiosity about how they've done the work they've done and how they've gotten to where they are and how I can be part of that next chapter that they're looking to write, essentially.
And I love that. And you have such a commitment to creating inclusive spaces. You're always thinking about other people's dynamics. You even said it earlier in this conversation around neurodiversity. How do you think this conversation is evolving around DEIB in the current dynamics of what's going on with SHRM, the current administration, the major conferences? Like, as a conference organizer,
Yeah.
this is something that is very important that practitioners are still talking about. If you're comfortable, like walk us through
Yeah.
that.
I
Like,
mean,
how do you think
I
about
had
it?
a conversation with another gentleman this morning, and I said, I think anytime anyone mentions the SHRM determination, everyone's kind of butt puckers a little bit in regards to, oh, like what to say. Part of the rebel in me, and look, I'm just going to speak the truth, is humanity is never going to stop. And I trust that I'm going to attract the right attendees and partners that, despite what's going on politically and in some of these other spaces, they want to put the heart of the human and the person first. And so I just try to turn down the noise in that regard and prioritize some of the programming around this, because also, if we look at all the trends of ups and downs, this is going to evolve and these conversations are going to be reprioritized. And that's also my faith in humanity and the world, that we will get back to a more equitable place. And if I can be of service to bring the mic to people that can share why it's important and how to be an ally and how to be more inclusive when these organizations are ready or have the right people in place, then I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And just like your own brand, we have to accept that people are like, heck yeah, Anna Morgan, or oof, yeah, I'll build some other partnerships. And I'm totally fine with that. And I believe in what I'm doing. And I know that prioritizing these types of conversations is part of the solution. And I want to be part of that.
And maybe this is like going out on a limb a little bit, but you have one of the most recognizable personal brands in the
Thank you.
industry. It's something that is absolutely a skill that just doesn't happen when you pick out what you're going to wear or how you're going to get somewhere. Like when you see Anna Morgan rolling up at the conference, whether it's outside at RecFest or in Vegas, it is everybody is stoked. And
Well, they're
part of that is
mostly
due.
excited to see Lily, I think,
Part of
whatever
that
works.
is Lily. But even that, I think like the simple act of a little bit of pet therapy in the middle of a crazy conference, it helps
It
so
is.
many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Simple but effective marketing. My newest talking point is my obsession with these cool shoes that I wear now called sneaks. They're the tennis shoe high heel, and I now have 3 pairs, and they start conversations just as much as Lily, which is super fun.
that's great. Good for you.
So
Tennis shoe, high heels, Anna
It's by
Morgan,
Sarah
sneakerhead.
Blakely, The Sneaks. She is a hero Atlanta entrepreneur that when I put my Evolve t-shirts on, she used to wear her Spanx t-shirt when she was building Spanx after
Oh,
selling
yeah.
fax machines, that she was manifesting the success of Spanx. And so anytime I put on my Evolve or Career BFF t-shirt, I'm like embodying that Sarah Blakely success. If Sarah Blakely and Jesse Itzler want to stop by Evolve on the 29th, they are more than welcome.
Please come by. No, I like that manifestation, that ritual. You've gotta pump yourself up to do this work. And when
Yeah.
we show up as our best, we are able to not only serve our clients, the hiring managers, but our candidates the best we can.
Yeah.
And I love that you have done work with candidates in career coaching and found time to carve that out.
Yeah.
I don't really do that. I'm not a career coach guy. I'm not a resume guy. I don't do any job seeker content. Like, I'm a recruiter, I'm a storyteller, I'm a marketer, employer brand guy. Obviously, I do a lot of that work behind the scenes with
Right.
people. And there's
Yeah.
always an element of coaching your candidates in the funnel for a specific role when it comes to
Yes.
interview prep or closing or helping them negotiate their offer, et cetera. Talk a little bit about how you built Career BFF, how you built this new endeavor.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Career BFF was founded during COVID, post layoff. I just took fast action, started coaching, and built out some programs from there. Because of my reputation as a recruiter, I was organically operating as a boutique agency, which allowed me to be able to the coaching side is a grind for 10K months. And then I was blessed to be able to be working 1 to 3 recs on the rec, which allowed me to nest income for investing in Evolve, which ended up being the transition to what I'm doing now. I definitely have eaten some humble pie as I've been planning this, from whoopsies from onboarding speakers or legalese around agreements, working with a much bigger entity like the Marriott, working through some really tough negotiations. But I love it because it pushes a new edge for me, and it still hits the sales negotiator, marketer, creative of me. And so I'm embracing those failures and those learning lessons just with open arms, just as I did coming up in recruiting. If you make that one mistake where a deal falls apart, it's locked in your body forever. You will never make that same mistake again. And while, humbly, I'm not a certified event planner, but it has been in my DNA since a very young age, being raised on Martha Stewart and Emily Post etiquette, and my family, who is very creative and hosted a lot of events growing up. I've just taken that lived experience and put it into what I'm creating today. I thank you for what you said about taking on this new role, but also having the network and the previous experience of working Fortune 500 internal TA, RPO, fractional work myself. And I will continue to prioritize and attend events to learn and be a part of the community, so that the perception isn't, oh, she just hosts events. She doesn't really understand what HR and TA tech partners go through or what candidates go through. And luckily, I have a large enough community that I can always spark and have those conversations for relevancy and top of mind awareness. And I think those things also have contributed to the success of my ADHD and scrappy personal brand that I've been able to build these last 5 or 6 years.
You're absolutely crushing it. And I think you're right. I think there's a rising tide lifts all ships, and there's plenty of capitalism to go around. And I'm excited for this new wave of practitioners as event promoters and event planners. I'm excited about the conference. How can people register?
They just need to go to yourcareerbff.com/evolve, and you'll find everything from speakers, agenda, location, partnership, ticket access, and everything you need to know to join us Thursday, January 29th here in Atlanta. So I hope you will come, and I really appreciate the conversation today and helping to spread the word and amplify the Evolve Conference impact.
Anna, thanks for everything you do. We'll see you in Atlanta.
All right, bye.